welcome! This is the top loader, now in stereo. Apparently, I must sound a lot better. Well, actually, it sounded about the same. Super Star Wars, Part 1. A long time ago, in a galaxy far away, or something to that effect, but I heard in a movie once upon a time. Oh, that's right, this movie. Star Wars, but the game's based on. Duh. Now, before we start, I'm not here to blast through the game like some sort of Jedi Master, even though I could. I'm here to actually train you up to be a Jedi Master. Now the ground rules are, I'm going to beat each level with the most least powerful weapons available to me. I'm going to start each level fresh, go to each save point fresh. I'm going to go through this game with the least amount of power that I can get. That's like kinda working it backwards, but because I'm teaching you, speed running through this game is not going to help you at all. So we're gonna play through this by my rules. This run and gun game is very much about the power that you have in your hands. Whether you upgrade it or you keep the gun that you want is totally up to you. So firstly, I want to explain to you that right now, I can go back to the start and upgrade my gun straight away. All the way back at that first rock that we didn't take a second look at, right at the back at the start of the game. So let's go back and take a closer look. If you shoot 10 scorpions that come out of this rock, you'll get a blaster upgrade straight away. Now position yourself just as I have here and angle out your gun as the scorpions come out. It just makes it so much easier. See, I'm here to help you with this. I'm not against you, I'm with you. See how I'm helping you out? I'm on your side. That's right, you heard it here first. From me, because I'm telling you exactly what I'm saying. Did you hear it properly? Well, I said it properly, so you must be hearing it right. Alright, enough of me. Okay, back to my original blaster, just for now, so I don't get too powerful, just like the Emperor had foreseen. Now remember, this is a run and gun game, so don't hang around too long because the enemies will just keep respawning. And the only thing you're going to be successfully doing is getting the sunburn, so keep moving. It's not so much run and gun, it's run, stop and shoot. So keep running unless you have to stop for an enemy that gets too close. Then stop, then shoot, then just keep running again. So as you run past this rock, run back behind it again, and squat in the exact same position as you did in the first rock at the very start of the game. What I'm doing right now is to get another blaster upgrade. If you've already done it at the start, you don't really have to do it now. I'm just showing you that it's here to do. It's basically exactly the same thing, except it takes longer to do and it's way more annoying. So this is more just for show. As in, it's up to you on how you want to play. I'm just showing you what I know. So use this information wisely, young Padawan. You can fast forward this, by the way, because this takes over 1 full minute to do, which is a long time to blast away 70 Womp rats that have obviously been living under this rock all this time, compared to 10 scorpions like you did at the back at the start of the game. So if you didn't listen to me like I suggested at the back of the start of the game to get that blaster upgrade, now you're going to have to pay the price and sit here and wait to get this blaster upgrade for 1 whole minute. Yeah. I'm just showing you what's there and how to kill it and where to do it and what to do. So where you want to go with this and how you want to play it in your own direction, all on you. Which way you want to go, I'm just showing you what's there and where it is and how to do it. But if you did get it back at the start of the game like I did suggest, then this is actually one big waste of time. So fast forward it. Too late, there it is. It took too long. So moving on, and thankfully this next upgrade is much easier to get, which is right there waiting for us. How convenient. Much easier than the last blaster upgrades to get. Lesson learned. The homing missile. It brings balance to the blaster's power force, in accuracy, and in power. It's right down the middle. It's the third upgrade. It's not the weaker blaster that you start off with, it's not the second one, it's not the fourth or fifth one, it's the third one, it's right down the middle. It brings balance to the force of the blaster perfectly. Because let's face it, I like to be well balanced. And as you play through the game, you will find that accuracy is everything. Search your feelings, you know it be true. So don't turn to the dark side and seek out more power. It is tempting, I know. Once you've upgraded to the most powerful being that you can be, you can't go back to how you were anymore. Now, prepare yourself. We have the Sarlacc pit monster literally coming up. He's going to come out of this big sand pit that you're playing in by sticking his arm up, like waving at you. He sticks up his little hand out of the sand pit, you see where he's going to be, you jump as far away as you can, and then you just shoot at him. You just gotta be as far away from him as possible. If you have the homing missile, great, much easier. But if you don't have the homing missile, that's also fine. The further away he is, obviously the much easier it is to shoot him and order projectiles that he shoots at you. Because you gotta aim at the projectiles and then shoot him, because if you don't aim at the projectiles first, they're gonna hit you. Well, that's all good, but what if you don't have the homing missile? And if the Sarlacc monster is way too fast for you and you can't jump out of the way quick enough? Standing up or crouching down, whatever you want to do. As long as you hit the projectiles that come at you, you will be able to destroy him at the same time. If you keep the flame blaster on this level, by the time that you get to the Sandcrawler, the next weapon you upgrade to is the homing missile, which makes it much more easier in the long run. And let's face it, the Sandcrawler is one long run. You might take a bit of damage here, but you know what, you're there in the moment, you're shooting his projectiles still, so you still should be able to beat him if you go into this with plenty of health. Well, that worked out well, didn't it? I love that, I really do. When I was a kid playing this, I didn't really know the story of Star Wars because I never actually watched the movie. The only thing I knew about Star Wars is that it had lightsabers. I had no idea about the movie. Anyway, who cares about my story? Right, let's just move on to the next level, please. So grab your lightsaber, that you don't have just yet. Imagine that you have it. And then grab your blaster that you actually do have, whichever iteration of the blaster upgrade that you got to. And we're going to move on to the next level. The Landspeeder level, where you got to kill the Jawas to get to the Sandcrawler. My favourite level in any game ever. The best way to beat this level is to be patient and tactful. Take your time and be aware of your surroundings and what's around you within those surroundings. And obviously be aware of where your enemies are. Duh. Sure, you could come in all guns blazing, firing at any Jawa that comes at you, using all your power that you have, destroying anything that comes in your way. Well, guess what? It doesn't always work out like that, because you're leaving yourself wide open for attacks. Sure, it might work out sometimes, but other times it just won't. You don't need to put the pedal to the metal, take it off a bit, cool your jets, take aim and fire. Be patient, young Padawan, by using your aim tactfully, maneuvering left and right, up and down, without using any of those jets that are attached to your Landspeeder. Now don't forget to collect the hearts when you destroy those Jawas, and also collect the fuel when you destroy the landscape with your Landspeeder. You must do what you feel is right, of course. Simply press forward or left and right. That's all you need to do to maneuver around the Jawas that are coming at you from the horizon. Well, it's the event horizon because they keep coming at you like it's some sort of big event to try and kill me. Before I get to the Sandcrawler, they're trying to block my way. It's like a barrage of attacks from all these Jawas. They don't want me to get to the Sandcrawler, do they? No, they don't want me to have a good time at the Sandcrawler. Use your jets smart. Use them sparingly. Ouch. Use your jets to get out of trouble when you want to get out of the way, not get in the way. There's a big difference there. Use it as a hard left, or another hard left, sometimes obviously a hard right, to quickly get you out of the way. So cool your jets, because out there on the horizon, more trouble is coming. Those Jawas are coming at me from every angle, from every part of the horizon, left and right, behind me, in front of me. Now we can finally use those jets and hightail it out of here. From up here, I have a much better view to see where those Jawas are coming out from anyway. And they're coming from the horizon. You gotta have your wits about you. Now, anyway, on to the next level. My favourite level of all time in any game. The Sandcrawler. Before the commencement of this level begins, the most important part of this Sandcrawler is the way that you control Luke and the way that he jumps. Basically, jump and then move. It sounds simple, but why are you telling me this, you asking? Well, here's why. Do not run and then jump. Stay stationary on the platforms, jump and then move in the air. There's a big difference there. Well, you know, I have to make this rhyme. It sounds better. The spin jump is activated by pressing straight up and jump, or straight up and angled on your D-pad. In any direction, it will spin jump. They are two completely different jumps that do two completely different things at different times within these platforms on the Sandcrawler, so it's very important that you know the difference between the two jumps. So now I'm purposely going to die and start fresh, with no power to my name, because I'm not a Jedi yet, because they are the rules that I set for myself. Because if I can't even follow my own rules, I can't expect anybody else to follow my rules, now can I? Because otherwise that would be very hypocritical if I can't even follow my own rules and my own guide. You know what I mean? So I'm here to set my own example of following my own rules before anyone else can follow them, right? That's how it works. Setting the example to follow the rules for everybody and including myself. That's the rule. As you approach the outside of the Sandcrawler, to make the jumping section a little bit easier, destroy all the external vents that you see. Otherwise, the enemies and the fire flames, they will just keep reappearing, and it gets quite annoying. And we don't want to be annoyed now, do we? Because you want to subtract as many obstacles as you possibly can, so you don't get any more added enemies to fly right back at you again. So, this is the first time that you have to use the spin jump, and it's also the easiest. There are 5 times in total in this section of the Sandcrawler where you have to use it, and this is one of those times, to reach platforms out of reach. That annoying Jawa up there always has a blaster upgrade, so depending on what blaster upgrade you got in the previous levels, if you didn't die, that's the next blaster that you're gonna get. Now you have an option here, as you can either spin jump onto this platform above, or go the linear path down the bottom of the Sandcrawler and run the track down and around. This is the alternate path, which will take you to the same place, and make sure that you do destroy those enemies that should not be here. That shouldn't be here. I destroyed all the vents. I know I didn't. Oh, this is my alternate run through, and I missed the vent on this run through. See what happens when you miss the vent? I just learned the biggest lesson, and that was not listening to myself. And we should all know to listen to me and myself. And now I've learnt my own lesson that I gave to myself. Yeah, see how I'm missing those? Yeah, do the opposite and actually try to hit them. And as many as you can. Just hit as many as you can, as you can. See, it's all in the mass, and you don't want to multiply your problems, so blow up all the vents that you see, so the enemies don't come back, and divide that difficulty in half. And that's half your problem. All these enemies that get in your way. So if you divide the problem in half your enemies are gone. And half the problem is solved. Before moving on. Because if you end up above one and it can still see you inside, it will try to destroy you again. Destroy them. All of them. Case in point. In this case, scenario. Now, just take your time. Destroy everything that you see, and all will be better for you and the way you jump on the platforms that are necessary. Okay, focus, because now it's necessary for you to use 2 spin jumps. So just wait until this platform reaches the top. As the other one is close to the bottom, we do another spin jump to get to the next platform above you. You're gonna have to meet in the middle. It's all on the balance of the power of the Force, of course. Because if you fall off the edge, then you're going to hit rock bottom. And then you're going to have to build yourself back up again to get to the top of your game. Shoot everything until nothing is there, because if nothing is there, then nothing can hit you. No enemies can take any more of your health away. And you really want to be full of it. Full of health, that is, of course. Because you don't want to be low on health, because then you'll die a lot easier. Makes sense. So I'm going to give you a good tip here. You're going to have to use your L and R buttons, your shoulder buttons, to look up or down, because you need to be seeing where these platforms are going, because they are moving now. You also want to see what enemies are in front of you or below you. Just take your time, be patient. While you wait for the platforms looking up or down, just remember, do not use the spin jump. Only use it when you really have to, which is soon, but not right now, okay? Well, actually, there it is right there. I was talking so fast that I got my forward thinking way too far in front of myself. This platform above you is the trickiest to reach in this whole level, as you need to spin jump this time. Make sure you position yourself to the far left here, so you got the best chance of getting up there. And if you do miss it, I'm going to show you what happens, because that's how far I'm going to go with this. Because you come so far and so high now, you don't want to end this on a low. And remember, the higher you are, the harder it is to fall, because it's a long way down to the Sandcrawler. And that's really going to hit you hard. And then you're going to have to listen to me talk about it all over again. And do you really want to hear me talk about this all over again? I didn't think so. And then you're going to have to repeat it, just like I'm repeating myself right now. Good shooting, Luke. Now the last spin jump is the most straightforward. Well, actually, it's more straight up on the D-pad. They really did save the best for last. And thank God, he's been jumping up and down this Sandcrawler all day. So I'm going to do what I can do on my own controller and give Luke a break. But there's no time for resting now. We finally made it to the top. And now there's no time for celebrations either, because we've got all these cannons firing at us from all directions. And sometimes, as good as I am at this level, this part still tricks me out from time to time. Even when trying to get into the Sandcrawler, make sure that you jump and don't press down instead. If you don't do that, then you don't go in the hole, you just sit on the top like a sitting duck. Help me! Somebody! No! Use the Force, Luke. Oh, that's right, I forgot about the Force thing, yeah, okay, sorry. The Force is with me always, blah 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 blah. There are other options to beat the cannons. If you have started the level with the Flame Blaster upgrade, then the homing missile will be the next upgrade to get at the bottom of the Sandcrawler. You go hand in hand. Well, actually, the homing missile upgrade plays right into your hands, which takes more the aggressive approach, as the homing missile will easily destroy everything in its path. You barely even have to tap your finger onto the control pad. The next option is what I call the passive-aggressive approach, because there are ways around these cannons that are somewhat passive and somewhat aggressive. These cannons do have a pattern, they're not hard to work out. See, the cannons, they go up and down, as you can see here. So when you stand on top of one, you can go either side and then shoot the opposite side to progress forward, because it will shoot the side that you were last on that it saw you on. All that excess junk that flies off will harm you too. They really do try and get you every which way that they can. But don't worry, there is also a hidden heart up here that will help you. So you do get a little bit of health, which will help you along your way. They're not really that hard to work out, but there's a lot of cannons up here, and it can be a lot to deal with. As I now run up the middle here to the next section of cannons. For me, I'm just going to run on top of these and go across, because I'm not even going to try to shoot each individual cannon here, because there's just too many. There's too many inside. I'm just going to run past and just get past it as fast as I can. Run, Luke, run! They shoot to kill, and you're the target, and they don't go easy on you. You got to get out of their way and quickly jump over or to the side to shoot the opposite direction to where the cannons are shooting, obviously, because you don't want to be shooting in the same direction where they're shooting you. It's just not going to work out well for you, I don't think. Now stop messing about and simply jump into the hole here. I also do want to point out that if you do die up here, there is a checkpoint, which is a great addition. And after all that, if nothing else can work, there also is another option. Run like hell. Use that force power in your legs instead of your blaster. Just run and jump out of the way of all this firepower coming at you. It doesn't always work like I showed you before. But you know what? It's an option. And I do feel like we're getting better now. Because I'm getting stronger. I can feel it. It's inside you. I can feel your power rising. Don't go to the dark side. You want to try and keep on the good side of everybody. Otherwise you won't get anywhere. All the evil guys, they always die. They never survive. And I want to stay alive to keep playing the game, to continue on to the next level and finish my Jedi training to stay on the good side of the Force. Now let's make a big grand entrance, as we've just made it inside the Sandcrawler. We tried to get in, now we're trying to get out again. My head hurts here. For this whole level, I'm going to use the first blaster, as it bounces off the walls. There are so many upgrades in here that you'll be able to choose any weapon that best suits you. This whole part is really just about how good you are at shooting things before they shoot you. If they shoot you, obviously you've got to get out of the way or shoot them first. When there's a lot of Jawas to destroy, that's great for me, because that means that they're going to drop a lot of items along the way that are of use to you, Luke, or the player, or me, both, everyone. So try not to leave anything left behind, unless it's a blaster upgrade that you don't want to upgrade to. But for me personally, I'm just going to keep this blaster, as I like to bounce off the walls, if you couldn't tell that by now. So I'm just going to keep myself to the standard settings here. Because even with this very weak weapon, you can easily get through this level. So any weapon that you have is effective in its own way, and no one's going to look at you any different unless you're a Jawa who's going to get in the way of that blaster power up. And I'm sure they're going to feel it too when they feel the force power of your blaster upgrade, which I didn't upgrade. These elevators coming down, they're more straightforward. Well, actually, they're going more straight up. Now, there's going to be a lot of enemies shooting at you, but don't worry. You're not going to take that much damage. Besides, there is a big heart at the top here, but it may be a little bit out of the way for you to get. And look, I got the heart and I just fell down. Now, was that really worth it? I still have heaps of energy. Now I'm all the way back down the bottom. I don't think it was worth all that heartache. Oh, you're so funny with all those jokes that you keep telling. This next section is a little bit tricky, but that's okay, I'm here to help. So the first thing that we're going to do is try and hit these flame vents that keep blasting out of the ground here. They will be annoying if you don't get them before you jump onto the next platform, so it's good to get rid of it before you get to it. Right now I'm just going to show you the standard standing shoot, which is the most basic way to do this. The standing, followed by the shooting, and some jumping. Pretty standard stuff, so let's just move along. The next option that I'm going to show you is the duck and shoot, which gives the enemy a lot less of you to shoot, because you're ducking. This is the easiest option out of all the options to do. And don't forget to avoid all that junk that flies off, because it does take damage as well, to you. You don't want that. No, you don't. You can stand or you can duck. I prefer to duck. See? All this really comes down to is just avoiding the plasma beams and shooting directly in the middle of the cannon here. It's very straightforward. And yeah, you're going to take a few hits, because it's not foolproof, but it is the easiest option to do out of all the options. However, it's not the last option either. Now, also, don't forget to jump and move onto this moving platform, because you don't want to fall into those rotating spikes. They will take even more damage. And remember, these flat platforms do limit your options to either to stand or duck, or you can just mix it up. But once you get the rhythm and get the rhymes, like mine, you'll be doing just fine. This is a nice easy option if you don't want to do anything too tricky. But if you are game to try something a little bit trickier, I'm going to show you my way of doing things, where I take a lot less damage. Option 3, using the platforms. So what you're going to do is let the plasma beams shoot at you, and then move at the last second, right here on the ground, jump up around on top of the platform. Let it shoot at you, then jump back down again, while you're constantly shooting at the plasma beams. Then it's harder for them to kill you, and take damage from you. And that's what you want. You want to take less damage. I have my own ways of doing things. I have my own ways of going about it. Stay still, don't move. I'm not going to hurt you too much. I see you, and I'm going to shoot you when I can actually get you. Okay, where were we? Let's get back on track here. Okay, let's keep trying to go forward now, with no stops and starts. Well, that's not going to happen, is it? No. Not with all these flame vents that keep coming out of the ground still. They're so annoying. It's like clearing the path. You're clearing the path for yourself to move forward. And it's hard to do with these flame vents coming at you from the ground up. Speaking of the ground that we're on, let's just back it up a bit, because I missed the secret room because I went past it. I jumped past it. I jumped straight down to the ground. You got distracted, didn't you? No, it wasn't me who got distracted. I never distract myself except when I talk. Of course, I was talking. Now, you got to go all the way to the edge as far as you can go. And then you jump. Isn't it great? You made it this far. It's like a reward. You get all these hearts, you get all these blast upgrades, and you get an extra life. So once you go past this secret room, there's no going back. So collect what you want, commando style, like Arnold Schwarzenegger. He will take everything that he needs to bomb his way through these enemies. And then once you get to the halfway point at the bottom of this fall, that's it. This is the halfway point. So anytime that you die from now on, you will end up right back here in this spot. So, nothing can get in our way now, except for these green bars that are in our way. You're just going to have to play a little bit of back and back and forth again. So quickly move past when you do actually get the feeling. Instant replay. To go to the instant replay, edge your way out and find the exact position right before you slide. Now, destroy everything in your way. Shoot the enemies, shoot the doors so you can get through, Shoot the flame vents that are on the ground but are going to stop you from making a smooth move glide past the green bars. Because you don't want to end up like Uncle Owen or Aunt Beru, now do you? Just continue using the back and forth method with whatever gun that I have in my hand, because coming up is the conveyor belt, and whichever gun that you have, it doesn't really matter because there's a way of getting through all of this with whatever you have selected or have not chosen to select but are stuck with. So, first up on this conveyor belt is the homing missile, which I shall call doing it the easy way. Is it going to help having the most accurate gun in the game? Of course it is! Because I can do this without even looking. Come on, man. Like, my back's turned and I'm still hitting the damn thing. Accuracy is power in this game. If you have this gun, you don't need any other gun. You got this gun, you're good to go. And it really does just hit the right spot. Every time. Just keep one thing in mind though. Do not miss the flame vents as you go down the wall. Instant replay. You have to shoot the wall so that you can destroy the flame vents as you fall. So the next type of blaster is the flame. And I'm gonna have to go through a few different types because I don't know what gun you have, I only know what gun that I have. And each gun does something different, so to get past this next section you have to do something different depending on the gun that you have in your hand at that point in time. So how this arm cannon works, it will shoot from the middle to the top, to the middle, to the bottom, to the top, to the middle, to the bottom, to the middle, to the top, to the middle, to the bottom again. Yeah. But you know what, in all honesty, this is actually doing it the hard way. So, ask me, how would you do this? Well, I'll tell you. Just use your brute force. Yes, we're gonna use the force brutally this time. Let's get in then out, no mucking about. And then move along to the next arm cannon, crouch down, shoot up, and then bring the arm cannon down to the ground. Coming through like a freight train, so get out of the way. Is that a song? I don't know, I don't sing. I just make the jokes. I'm now going to show you what happens if you die past the halfway point. And when you make your way back to the same position that you are right here again, you're only going to have the basic blaster. And who said this blaster was weak? Well, might have been me. But in this case scenario, it's not that bad. So just crouch down and shoot to the ground. Simple. Get the heart. Move on to the next part. Instant replay. This is the exact right spot to hit that right angle, to hit the exact right spot up top. Finally, geometry and maths are working in my favour for a change. Accuracy sometimes is a lot more powerful than actual power. I should go back and tell my school teacher how much it actually does help me. I just didn't realise it at the time. Maybe I should have listened more, but you know what, I'm not the type to listen. So anyway, listen up, because now I'm the teacher. You might have noticed before that the blue plasmas sometimes go through you. You let the blue plasmas hit you at least once. And every other time after that, if you keep shooting forward, it never actually hits you again. I don't know why it does this, but it does. This only works when you're standing on the ground, so if you time it right with your jumps, the blue plasmas, as long as you're standing on the ground when they shoot, will go right through you. And they ain't coming back because there's nothing to come back from. I don't know why this glitch was never fixed, but this is just another option that you're going to have underneath your utility belt. Now let's just jump up here quickly and destroy anything that gets in our way. Just like these Jawas that are getting in my way. Now that we're at the top, crouch down and get your position just right. But if you do get hit, change your position so that you don't get hit by those big stampy things. They're like a big iron press. Then you can slide on through to the other side. I feel like dancing again. This is not about dancing, this is about moving. Moving and dancing and singing a song. Not right now, Todd. Come on, man. Move along. So, shoot the angles, destroy the cannon, clear the path. Learn what you have learned, young Padawan. Because now I'm the teacher, and I make this more interesting than my teachers ever did. Aren't you lucky that I'm so interesting? In my own mind, at least. Now, there is a monster down here, so run, wait, and hide until he finds you. Peekaboo. Ah, he scared me. There he is. I found him. No, he found me, actually. So all you have to do right now is just crouch and shoot. Keep on shooting. And if you want to try and jump, but it doesn't really matter because if he does hit you, it's very minimal. Now, going back to the alternate replay. There are times where you can do this and not get hit at all. Depends on the run that you get at the time. Either way, you don't really get hit that much, even if you do get hit. And I'm here to help you get through this without getting too much damage, more than what you would normally if you didn't know what to do. So make sure that you have your jumping down. Well, actually, you gotta jump up in this section as you go down into the next section. Collect the hearts and collect the health bars to get all powered up. Now be careful, don't fall into the sand. Well, at least I think you can die in the sand. Maybe I should double check that, right? Are you in or are you out? What's wrong, McFly? Chicken? Oh. Well, are you gonna go back in there again, McFly? No, I won't. No. Yeah, are you deaf and stupid? I said no. Oh, okay, sorry. My apologies. It is very important that we must jump and move in the air and do not run and jump, so it doesn't accidentally register a spin jump, because you'll accidentally hit the ceiling, and then you'll hit the ground, the lava, the sand, whatever, and die. So let's quickly go back so I can slow it down. To avoid a spin, you must stop, jump, then move in separate inputs, only pressing the direction of right on the D-pad, with no ups or downs, and then just keep on running past all this crap without shooting anything. Just keep on going, until you have to stop, jump, and move again. The Super Nintendo will slow down here, and it will throw off your timing a little bit. Instant replay. That's where the stop, jump, and move helps you, because it slows down the jumping pace for you to get across much easier. Now jump on over to the other side and get down real close to him. Shoot directly into his heart and his soul. He's only looking for love. Well, too bad, because he's not going to get it here. So say hello to my little friend, my big friend, as you're going to find out firsthand that it's not the size that counts, but which direction that you shoot your blaster in. Keep your friends close, but keep your enemies even closer. Now let's show this boss who is the boss. Just keep on shooting wherever he goes, up or down. Follow him wherever he may go. See? Heart and soul. As I get all up in its face as it explodes in your face. And you can actually still die. You can still die even when you beat the boss. Alternate replay. As you defeat the boss, stay more to the left of the platform, and not so much to right. Now please do avoid falling into the sandpit of death again, because as the name suggests, it will kill you. So you're going to want to avoid that as much as possible. And we don't want any more accidents, because this place, it doesn't look like it has a healthcare plan. Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi, you're my only hope. Well hey, I'm here and I'm helping. I mean, R2-D2 is not the only one here that can babble, because I can also ramble with the best of them. So, join me next time as Luke and Obi-Wan Kenobi, along with C-3PO and R2-D2, travel to Mos Eisley and beyond the two twin suns. May the Force be with you, always, and if you can't find it, look for it, because it's there somewhere, it's hiding. May the Force be with you, all that kind of jizz-jazz jibber-jabber. Look, R2-D2, he's not the only one that babbles, because that's what I excel in so much and so well. So aren't you lucky that I'm making sense to myself and everybody else, which is you. Everybody else is you, and anybody else that wants to listen to what I'm saying. Which is making sense, a whole lot of it too, I hope. Which is good for you, and it's great for me, because it makes it a whole lot easier to explain. But you'll get the idea, because you'll see what I'm trying to show you. Because you can see it with your own eyes, and you won't have to visualize with your mind, because it'll be right there on the screen to see with your own eyes. Can you see what I'm saying?